welcome back to my channel. So I came across this video on TikTok and I thought it was very interesting and I wanted to talk about it. So we just gonna get right into it, okay?
Your friends and your aunties and your cousins are lying to you. You are not better than. Neither are we. But if we did go tit for tat, I mean, do y'all really want to start taking polls? Because if y'all want to do the who's got the best twerk and who can do the dit and do, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Let's take a poll on feminine, soft-spoken, waking up all natural with nothing but naturalness. Do y'all want to start taking polls on very specific things? Because this delusion is holding you back. You think you're up, and you're not. I'm really frustrated that y'all made me have to do this. She's just going to label me a racist. She's a racist. Why? Because she can speak the truth bluntly, so y'all don't like that. Y'all don't like that. Y'all need someone to... Your feelings. That's why you surround yourself with a lot of people that feel just like you, and y'all bump each other up. And y'all are all in this big crowd. And the whole world is looking at you right now like... You lose. And it's not because you're okay. It's because of how you're acting. It's based off your actions and your words and your behavior. I know these brothers been trying to tell y'all this for a long time. They've been trying to tell y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen to them, right? Then they go tell the white tea girls and like, oh, tell the brothers they did. And let me look at you. Shit. Fuck. They didn't lie. No lies detected. So stereotypes, right? There's stereotypes and, oh, we can't do stereotypes and we can't do it. When we can, right? We can over here, we can over there. Wait, this is okay, that's not okay, y'all. y'all have made a lot of this little gray area. It could just be, black and white and okay. But y'all want a gray area. So here's the gray area for you. Now you're just all in your feelings and you can't figure shit out. Now you're just going to go battle yourself and be like, we are better. We are. Take it off, put it on, take it off. I don't know what to do with myself. You shouldn't have done that. You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. It's not a hate thing. It's an I'm no longer going to pet your feelings thing. We did that. And it's backfired.
Okay, so I don't even really know where to begin with this. When I saw this on TikTok, I was kind of taken back a little bit. Like, I've never heard someone speak like this who is of a different race so boldly and so proudly that it was almost shocking just to see something like, oh, she really saying that, So, but this is kind of goes into what I've always, well, I won't say always. That's kind of a bold statement. What I've been talking about previously on some of my other videos about how some of our behavior, is very distasteful in how it appears and how it comes off to other races and how they view us and the perspective that they have towards us. And so I'm not going to say that this wasn't a harsh reality, that this wasn't kind of triggering, because it was. I'm not going to lie, it was a little triggering for me to hear and to see, but I have to be honest. I don't think anything she said was wrong or deemed racist. I believe that what she said had some truth to it. That the way we behave, the way we act is a reason for a lot of the things that we are going through and that we are dealing with when it comes to our community. This does not mean that I am anti black. This does not mean that I am sucking up to the YT people or that I want them to approve me or that I want them to, accept me. At the end of the day, I'm black. I will always be black, and that's just what it is. I'm not one of those people where I'm with you right or wrong. If you're wrong, you're wrong. And if you're right, okay, you're right. But I have to call it like it is. She didn't say anything that was really wrong in my opinion. In my opinion. A lot of us are very aggressive in our nature, in the way we talk, in the way we behave. Some of us are very masculine in the way we behave, and it gives off the wrong impression. It rubs people the wrong way. It rubs the men in our community the wrong way. But at the same time, a lot of the things that have happened and taken place in the world is the reason behind our aggression and our masculinity. A lot of us grew up without having a male in the household. A lot of us grew up with single mothers. So when you grow up and all you see is your mom taking care of everything, your mom being the go-to person, she's fixing everything, she's making sure everybody okay, she's the one going to work all the time and providing and making sure dinner's on the table, buying clothes, making sure the kids are taken care of, and providing this life and taking care of everything. It makes you think that women can do it all. It makes you think that, oh, I don't need a man, I don't need a husband to help me because I watched my mom do it all, and she was able to do everything that needed to be done, and she did it and it made it look easy. So I get why some of us are like that, why we act the way we act is because of just simply the way we were raised, the things that we experienced growing up, the way society paints us as a whole community. A lot of the men in our families are in prison, so you're kind of forced to do things on your own as women. And then also just the stuff that happened back in the day, making it to where the only way the government would assist women to have any type of assistance or help or support is if there was no man living in the home. And so that pushed a lot of women to not have males in the home, a man in the home, a masculine man in the home, leading the home, being married. And so because they needed that help and they saw it as an easy way to get some help, because sometimes it wasn't guaranteed. It's like, look, I'd rather get some help and assistance from the government versus this man who may end up leaving me one day for someone else, or this man, he may end up getting locked up at some point, or just whatever is going on in the world. It's like you really, they felt like they couldn't depend on a man being there to help them and to support them. And so I get it in a sense. I do understand why some of the behavior that we display, why we are the way we are. I get it, I understand, but at the same time, there has to be a point where you have to start working on yourself to be better. If you just continue the same toxic cycle over and over and over, we can never grow. You're never going to grow. You're never going to progress in life. You're never going to be fruitful. You're never going to be what's the word? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. you're never going to progress. You're never, I think I already said that. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. You're never going to just be successful. You're never going to grow and move forward in your life because you're continuing to do the same things over and over again. It's a toxic cycle, and then you pass down these same toxic messages, the same toxic belief system and thought patterns. You pass all that down to your children. And so now your children is going on, they're growing up thinking that this is the way life should be. This is how I should act. This is how I should behave because that's all I've known. That's how my parents, that's how my mother acted, and look at her, so it can't be too bad. And so I don't know. I know a lot of y'all may have a difference of opinion that that what this lady was saying was very, racist and biased and just nasty and wicked and evil. But I mean, I'm gonna call it like it is. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. She said some things in there that was truthful that really makes you have to look at yourself and makes you like, okay, do I act like this? Is this a reason? Because I mean, I can see it. Like, it's one thing when we talk about our men and the patterns and the behaviors that we see with our own men, but then it's another thing when somebody else that's not in our community, that's of a different culture and different background, when they say some of the same similar things. Like, it kind of makes you like, it makes you mad because it's like, well, who are you? But we just got to be real. Some of us, we just got to we got to start being real with ourselves. Let's stop being so closed-minded and not willing to learn. We got to be willing to learn, which is something she said. Like, we got to be willing to listen and to learn to be better. But a lot of us don't want to do that. A lot of us think that we can act and behave any kind of way and that somebody should be able to accept it. And that's just not how life is. You can't just do what you want and think other people are going to accept you, that other people are not going to judge you, that other people are not going to have a certain perspective about you in a negative way. That's just not how life works. And the faster people realize that, the better off will be. But I don't see anything changing nowhere in the future. I mean, like I said, if you've been watching any of my other videos, you know that I have a Christian faith. I believe in Jesus Christ, and so I know what the Bible says. Things are going to get worse, and so I don't really see anything getting better, but I feel like at least if I'm bringing it, talking about it, bringing it to other people's attention who are willing to listen, maybe some people will actually start doing the work to change themselves and to be better humans. This isn't about race. This isn't about white versus black. This isn't about who's right and who's wrong. It's about being better as humans, period. I agree with what she said that, we're all God's children. God created all of us. And so it's not about white versus black and who's right and who's wrong and who's better and who's not. It's not about that. We all bleed. We all got to go in the grave one day, maybe. And so it's like, at the end of the day, we're still human. And that's what we have to get past. We got to get past all this race stuff. What color your skin is, something that you have no control over. And we got to start being honest with ourselves. Let's cut all this, oh, you can't say that because you're white. Oh, you can't say that because you're black. You're racist. That's like, truth is the truth. And that's what a lot of people don't like to, they don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear the truth depending on who's saying it. But they can accept it for somebody else if they look like them. What kind of, like, that doesn't make sense. The truth is what it is regardless of who says it. So I don't know. So let me know what y'all think in the comments. I mean, I don't care how you feel, if it's negative, if it's positive, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know. I really kind of like, I'm one of those people where I want to learn other people's perspective. I want to, like, I always am willing to listen and to understand somebody else's perspective. So this is a safe space. Say how you feel, express your feelings on the topic, on the video, on even on what I say. It is what it is. I'm human, so I can be critiqued. I don't know everything. I'm not always right about everything. So let me know what y'all think. Y'all have a blessed day.